WMG took my pants, and I loved it.
Word, WMG. Weapons of mass. Gaming, Butchie on the mic. Butchie on the steamy Cleggs checking in on that berserker pile. All right, so like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about fantasy books, and I got a really good response from you guys. I was really encouraged. I appreciate the fact that we have some readers in our as subscribers. I have a lot of respect for those of you that read. So I had mentioned that I have some pretty strong opinions about Game of Thrones. And when I say Game of Thrones, I'm talking about the television series or the first book of the written series. The written series is called A Song of Ice and Fire. So if you call it GOT, I know that you're a watcher, not a reader. So just know that. It's A Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones is simply the name of the first book. I don't know why they named the television series Game of Thrones. Each season could have been the name of the book that it relates to, but whatever. Before Game of Thrones became popular, I was telling everybody that everyone that I knew that read fantasy books, I made them read it because it is the best contemporary fantasy ongoing series right now, in my opinion. I don't really think that there's anything more dynamic or gritty or fantasy realistic, if that makes any sense, where you have a fantastical world where you put realistic characters in them. Like no one, I just, as a writer, I don't think anyone can write fantasy in the contemporary world better than Martin right now. I mean, who's to say in the future, whatever, that's an argument that can be made, but I'm not going to get into that. My point is that it's my favorite. I think it's amazing. I'm a little bitter that it got so popular, but I mean, whatever. I mean, now a bunch of Philistines like it because they can watch it on TV. My beef with it is, if you're a watcher, not a reader, if you're watching it and you haven't read the books, you're cheating yourself out of, an awesome experience that cannot be reenacted on the screen. I know a lot of people say, well, the book is always better than the movie, blah, blah. This is, in particular, a special case where, because of the style of George Martin's writing, the way that he writes, the POV, the point of view perspective that he uses for his writing style, you cannot enjoy Game of Thrones as it was meant to be enjoyed by watching it on television. You can get an idea as to the plot, and you can meet a few characters, but you can't learn their motivations. You cannot connect with the characters like you can in the novel because there's no internal monologue. I mean, there have been some movies that do an internal monologue, but it comes off cheesy on the screen. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work. I know people have tried it, but when you have a voiceover or a character's voice in their head on the screen, it just doesn't work. It only works in novels. So if you're watching it and you enjoy it, I really encourage you to stop watching the goddamn show. Go and read the books and then go back and watch the show. I could make so many cases for why. I mean, first of all, if you read it, you don't have to wait for the next fucking season to come out. You don't have to wait 8-9 months before season 3 or 4 or 5 comes out. There's fucking 5 or 6 books out now. You can there's 6 books out. You can go just read them all to your heart's content at whatever pace you want. If you're too fucking lazy to read, then fucking get the audiobooks. If you're too cheap to pay the $60 for the audiobooks, go to fucking Pirate Bay and fucking download it. Just don't. I mean, I'm not saying the television show is bad. It's not bad. They're doing the best that they can. But they cannot recreate the character-driven story that is A Song of Ice and Fire. It's not. Television shows can only be plot-based, basically. The majority of your interest revolves about the plot and what's going to happen next. That's not the most important thing in the books. It's fun and it's interesting. It keeps you reading, but it's a character-driven narrative, and it's the characters that you connect with. It's the it's the individual characters that make the series and your connection with them. You cannot make that connection with it on the screen because there's no internal monologue. You do not know their motivations. You do not know their feelings. The best you can do is a facial expression on the screen. You can't do that. I mean, I just think that you're cheating yourself, and I don't think there's any excuses anymore with books being digital now. There's just no excuses. Everyone says, "Well, reading puts me to sleep. Reading hurts my eyes. Reading's boring." Blah blah blah. Every motherfucker out there doesn't read has a lame excuse for a reason that they don't read, and I just don't fucking buy it. You can't do the Audible books. It's too expensive. I'm sorry. Fucking Pirate Bay exists. Every single one of them are on there. You can get them audio. You can get them text. You don't have to fucking pay for the shit. Just do yourself a favor, please. Read the books so you can enjoy them properly. Because I just honestly, at this point, this is what happens to me at work. Not with you guys, but when the season's on, there's every single person at work wants to talk about it, and I refuse to do it. And I tell them, don't talk to me about it because I will fucking give you spoilers. There will be spoilers. I will spoil the shit out of this. I will tell you that fucking X character is dead and how they died. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys yet. I might in the future, but I'm just saying, please, do yourself a favor. Fucking steal the audiobooks or the digital books, whatever. I'm out. Word say fucking motherfucking word son. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.